Hey Aquarius, happy almost New Year. We're here to do your reading to take a peek at what lessons you and experiences that you've had in 2023 and how you can march into 2024 being your best self. So, looking at the overall energy, the first card that we have out for you is Deception. Let's pull another and see what else was going on throughout 2023 that you should be mindful of as you enter the new year. And what we have for you is loving all of you. Love and accept your inner darkness for greatest self-love, deeply healing world mirrors us. So I think that for my Aquariuses out there, 2023 was very much a journey of self-discovery. There may have been some things that you weren't necessarily being honest with yourself about, whether it was pertaining to you, things that you wanted, the person that you are right now as compared to the person that you want to be, maybe other people's expectations of you. There could have also been some level of deception from the people that were around you, some of the people that you encountered throughout the year. But whatever it is, it feels as though you've either gotten to or you're in the process of getting to a place where you kind of accept all that is, and you're looking at things from a little bit of a different perspective, where it's kind of like honesty and transparency is what you value most about yourself and about the other people around you. So it's almost like you had a bit of a come to Jesus moment, a little bit of a lemon squeeze, if you will. And it's like you're embracing everything, but there are no more rose colored glasses. There's no sort of glossing over things. It's just, okay, this is what it is. This is my path forward. This is who I am. These are my thoughts. And so it feels like a bit of a liberating energy. It feels like it was a journey for you, for sure. There may have been some denial at some points on your part or again on other people's parts, but it feels as though you're coming out of it and you're looking at yourself and the world around you a lot differently than when you started in 2023. So, getting into some tarot and looking at you over the past year, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So there was, I think, a sense of discontent that you may have had throughout the year. It seems like it may have started that way and carried on a little bit throughout. But the Nine of Pentacles, when upright, is someone who is very abundant, very content with what they have, and they are quite able to sort of take care of themselves in a meaningful way, especially when it comes to having those material things, wealth and assets and things of that nature. And we have that clarified by the Emperor in reverse, which is, to me sort of signifying someone who, to a certain extent, gave up some of their personal power. Because the Emperor is very much a person who stands on their own. They're absolutely abundant, but they have a very firm demeanor. They're able to sort of take control of themselves and situations around them and make sure that whatever it is for their highest good. And so it feels like for a good chunk of 2023, there may have been a little bit of discontent. Maybe you felt powerless or unable to sort of do things in the manner that you may have wanted to. But what you learned over the past year was justice, right? Having that fairness and having that balance in your life. Whereas, again, you may have been giving away a lot of your power, a lot of control to other people. Maybe it was because you thought that you weren't capable of something, or other people thought that you weren't capable of those things as well. But it almost feels as though you started calling back that energy, that power back into yourself. And so instead of maybe acquiescing to a bunch of other people or listening to naysayers or convincing yourself that somehow you weren't worthy or, somehow you weren't good enough or didn't deserve something, then it's like, no. We have that shift, and those rose-colored glasses came off. Like those people that were lying to you or you lying to yourself, because we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Now, the Seven of Cups, when it's upright, can be a card of options, but it's also the card of disillusionment and not being able to sort of see things clearly, being overwhelmed. And so I think that that was one of the big lessons that you were learning also as you were calling this power back into yourself. That sort of fog lifted, those glasses came off, and you were able to start seeing things a lot more clearly. And maybe, there was a point in time where these people were not having much faith in you that caused you to not have that much faith in yourself, but you're getting back. How this lesson changed you, we have the Hanged Man. You're seeing things from a different perspective than what you saw previously. You have this sort of like halo of enlightenment around you. And you can now see things for what they are. Your headspace is a lot more clear and a lot more focused than what it was before. So that's a good thing. We have the Queen of Cups and Death to clarify. And so I love this combination together because in terms of the changes that you made, the Queen of Cups, out of all of the cups that we see in the tarot deck, she's the only one who has a lid on hers. And so that gives her the ability to sort of place the lid on when she doesn't want to offer anything to anyone else. She can open it up and give what she sees fit. But you see, she's very contemplative and she's very, very thoughtful about, this cup that she has in her hand. And you can almost imagine her thinking, who deserves this? Who deserves what I have in this cup? Today? No, not so much. Today? Maybe a little bit. Okay, that person deserves a lot. And so over the course of the year, you've changed and become a lot more discerning about who it is that you give your time and your energy to. We have that solidified with the Death card. That's all about transformation. It's a rebirth. It's a reinvention of self. And so for my Aquariuses out there, I think that some of the lessons that you learned throughout 2023 is making you move a lot differently. It's changed how you show up. There's no more allowing people to gaslight you. There's no more allowing people to convince you that you're not something or you can't have something or that you can't be something. Now, something that held you back a little bit last year, we have the Page of Swords. So this is my Watcher card. It's a bit of a naive, uncertain energy, as all pages are. But you see that this page here, they have their sword, they're swinging it back, but they're kind of stuck there. They're not moving, right? They haven't sort of cocked the sword back behind their head, ready to unleash. So it was a lot of inaction, I think, for a while. And that may have been a direct result of other people or you telling yourself that you're not ready, that you can't do something. And so there was a lot of watching, there was a lot of waiting, but there wasn't a whole lot of action where you might have been benefited by actually taking it. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So there was a struggle, again, about finding that balance. And I think that you've come to that place where you ultimately did. But, when you see this particular image, we have this person who's giving a bunch of coins to this person. They're not really giving anything to this person. They got one coin for themselves. They got two over here. They're holding the scales and they're doing the best that they can. But there was just always something that was never quite equal. And if you'll notice that this guy in the middle only has one pentacle hovering over his head. So he has less than what he's giving to the other people around them. So I think, Aquarius, you all were on give mode, and you forgot to give a little bit of something to yourself, and something that you ignored maybe over the past year. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse, your own happiness. It's almost like, Aquarius, you were sacrificing yourself for everybody else, and you didn't focus so much on your own contentment, making sure that your heart was full. As long as everybody else was good, as long as you sort of stayed in line, then hey, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But it didn't necessarily serve you well. And we have that clarified with the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So the Five of Cups, it's about sort of not recognizing what it is that you have. I think being so concerned about what you might lose when it comes to other people who weren't necessarily acting or speaking in your best interest, you didn't feel compelled to walk away. Even though things were imbalanced, even though things were stressful, it's kind of like you sort of let that go. And you what's the word? You did a lot to forego your own happiness and your contentment in your life because of this worry, and not recognizing that you are full and that you are wonderful without these other people, without their affirmations or without their acceptance. Like, you're good regardless, and that there's something better on the other side. Once you make the decision to sort of walk away, it's not the end of the world. And maybe that's something that you overlooked a little bit. So something that you should be proud of, we have the moon coming out of that darkness, things being revealed, things being uncovered. When you think about, what it sort of looks like when there's a full moon outside, it casts just enough light for you to see, what's directly in front of you. It starts illuminating everything. So I think for my Aquariuses out there, you should be very proud of the fact that things were sort of illuminated and everything didn't crumble, right? As you started coming into that awareness, the Tower can be a bit of a frightening card because things have to be destroyed to be rebuilt. And I don't think that was necessarily the case for you. It feels like this was a bit of a slow transition for you all, where you started bit by bit rebuilding, affirming yourself, reshaping those deceptive narratives that, about you, about your life, about the way that you move, and living in a way that's more authentic, that's more honest for you. So I think that this has been something that's been in process, throughout the year. This has been more of a slow build rather than something happening all of a sudden. But you're going to be starting 2024 with a very new perspective on yourself and the people around you, and what you want future people to look like when they're around you, and what you want of yourself when you're around others as well. So keep working, Aquarius, keep building, keep shifting your perspective and getting back to loving all of you. And 2024 is going to be a good year. That's what I got. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.